Why, hello everybody. This is an update on my Clone a Toy group build. This is the one where I'm actually making that micro machine into look like a real car. Well, this is what I got so far. You notice the colors are not the same. So that's one thing that kind of bothers me. And I'm not 100% sure I like the way this looks. So if you can, let me know what you guys think. I'm going to show more detail everything. But there's that. So everything's just kind of mocked up, so a lot of pieces are going to fall off. So for the bottom, like I said in the beginning of this build, I like the way this has turned out. I wanted to make it look like a car that somebody on a lower budget could have had. They fixed up the motor, the rear end, made it a nice performance car, but the rest of it is a little rough, and that's kind of intentional. So the rusty tank and the rusty mufflers and stuff like that, that's all intentional. So I did do that. I am quite happy with the weathering on that. So the chassis is pretty much done. The hood I gotta paint underneath, which I normally don't do, but the engine bay, I have to mask this off. I have to make sure I mask that right and paint the inside black, but I also wanted to make sure that I was not going to change anything. There's a couple things that actually go on to the firewall. That has to match that. And there's the engine so far. Looks quite small in such a big engine bay. One thing, I use those vinyls that I cut out off the Cricut, and there's a thick edge. It's a real thick edge on it. So I still have to wet sand it, and that might just take that right off. I don't know. There's that. So on the inner fenders, the engine bay, I did use some Future and ink wash. And since you mix it with Future, it does give it a gloss look. So trying to give it a look like it had some leaks or some spray in there. So there usually is some oily marks inside of an engine bay. So I did do that as well. That turned out good. I did not wire this engine. I don't like wiring every single car I got. I usually don't open the hoods, but yeah, I didn't wire that one up. So here's the interior pan. Now this one I did have to weather this as well, since this will be showing. Since that is that piece. So here's some net Future wash. Little glossy, just a nice little difference. Add some variations to it. Here's the interior. I did not flock this one. Just kind of left it basic. Basic tan interior. Now I might go over this because I did do a weather or dry brush on it, and then did a wash. I might go over the seats with Future. I still can do that to add a little bit of variance in there to make it look different. I also did the rubber mat, or the harder pad part of the floor. This one I do want to make a roll bar. It's just going to be a very basic roll bar. So it's just going to be the part that comes up and over. And I'm going to make it so it's not all the way to the ceiling. So I might have a crossbar go up front somehow, or I might just make it come back, hoop, and then come back into these corners or so. But I'm gonna mess around with that for a little while and see before I make it permanent. But if you guys can, let me know what you think about the body. I wasn't too excited about this white color. It's like an antique white, but I think the orange underneath it did mess with it. I didn't prime it. I figured that stuff is usually pretty thick. I didn't want to, you know, make it so it washed out the GTO thing, you know, the badging and stuff like that. So I didn't want to have it too thick. It's already pretty thick on there now. But let me know what you think. Everybody so far has liked it that I've shown. And you know how you can be your own worst critic. So I think I'm doing that right now to this. So that's all the further I am on this. I also did the tires. I tried to do a gunmetal look. We'll see how that works out as well. I have to do a wash, kind of like I did the Trans Am wheels. If you didn't see the Trans Am video, right there's the Trans Am wheels. Same wheel. Just got to do that black wash around there. And then this one has the gunmetal spoke. So that's the only difference. But until next time, guys, I'll talk to you then. Bye.